EU has sent a strong message to Edo youth. Don't become tools for selfish politicians, EU tells Edo youth. European Centre for Electoral Support, ECES, has advised youth in Edo State not to allow themselves to be used by politicians to perpetrate violence during the September 19, 2020 governorship election in the state. EC's Senior Electoral Administration expert, Dr. Isiaka Yahya, made the call on Saturday in Benin at a town hall on youth and non-violent participation in the Edo governorship election organized in collaboration with the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). He said, youth should not allow selfish politicians to use them to perpetrate violence. When you see what may lead to violence, do not resort to self-defense but report to security agents for action. According to him, involvement in electoral violence and malpractices will not allow the youth to vote, and the will of the people would be truncated during the election. He stated that the youth were always the victims of election violence because they are the one that will be injured, killed, and also arrested by the police. He further urged the youth not to engage in vote buying, as well as helping politicians to buy votes because they would be mortgaging their future. Dr. Isiaka noted that ECES is supporting INEC to deliver free and fair, credible election, saying that it was not concerned who wins the election, but that the process must be free and people were able to cast their votes freely. On his part, INEC representative Mr. Sonny Ezuma, Assistant Director, CSO INEC Headquarters, Abuja, urged the youth not to allow politicians to lure them to destruction during the election. He said the initiative was to sensitize the youth on the need to be actively involved in the electoral process in the state and not violence. Also speaking, Cynthia Mbamalu, the program director of Yaga Africa, charged electorates to come out en masse to vote, as an election can only be rigged when there is voters' apathy. She noted that the power to have a better country, free and fair election lies in the hands of the youth with their numbers, but that they always collect money and vote against their conscience. The European Centre for Electoral Support and the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) on Saturday called on the youth in Edo to resist being used for election violence in the September 19 governorship election in the state. Mr. Isiaka Yahya, the Electoral Administration expert, European Centre for Electoral Support, made a call during a town hall on all youth and non-violent participation in the 2020 Edo governorship election program in Benin. Yahya said the initiative was to sensitize the youth on the need to take part in the electoral process to guarantee their future, saying, "We are saying the youth of Edo should not allow themselves to be used as thugs by politicians for their political gains. They should not mortgage their futures by allowing politicians to use them as agents for vote buying. If you take statistics of past election violence, you discover that the youth themselves are mostly the victims," he said. Yahya urged the youth to ensure that their opinion is reflected in the leadership of the state through their votes come September 19. According to him, ECES is a non-profitable organization which delivers electoral assistance to Nigeria and other African countries. He noted that the center was committed to strengthening the democratic process in Nigeria through the implementation of the EU SDGN program. The representative of INEC at the event, Mr. Sonny Ezuma, Assistant Director, CSO INEC Headquarters, Abuja, urged the youth to always put the interests of the state above the ambition of any politician. He said it is time for the youth to say no to politicians who will want to lure them to destruction during the election. According to him, the commission is committed to ensuring that youth were sensitized on the need to be actively involved in the electoral process in the state. Also speaking, Cynthia Mbamalu, the program director of Yaga Africa, called on the people of Edo to come out en masse to vote, adding that the electoral can only be rigged where there is voters' apathy. Mr. Emmanuel Ikubese, the INEC Youth Ambassador, who also spoke at the event, called on the youth to take advantage of the governorship election to elect the best candidates that would ensure youth development in the state. Just like they always say that a word is enough for the wise. But I don't think all of this will make meaning to those who have already made up their mind to do what they want to do. Majority of the youth, some people even sit down at home. I think what will happen most is the voters apathy. People will just like, oh, let me just stay because I wouldn't want any problem. You can imagine what happened because a lot of people will just like, let there be voters apathy. Some people have already made up their mind to know the politician they are going to follow, no matter what. You know that they said that they are going to be moving from word to word according to Eze Yamu, and that is exactly what usually happens. So some people have already made up their mind. They've purported in their hearts, no matter what you are going to tell them, we are just saying it will enter here and come out, at the other side. And more so, what happened in Kogi State, we know what happened. It was so terrible. And what happened in Bayelsa, it was really terrible, especially that of Kogi. I was weeping in my heart when the woman leader in that state, PDP woman leader, and the way the woman lost her life, it was terrible. Anytime I remember, I was just like, what is happening? I don't know whether something happened at the end of the day. A lot of things happened. A lot of violence took place. The question now is that, did the security people, were they able to do anything? Did they do anything? Did they give justice to those who needed that justice, during that election period? A lot of things like that. Nothing will happen. They won't investigate anything, just like they are advising, oh, if you see anything, this and that. Those are the rhetorics they sing, but in reality, that is not what happens. It is better for people to just sit down and say, oh, let there be a apathy. Some people might just be on the give and, stray bullet. You cannot even say. It is really risky to even go out to vote. It's risky. Why is it that these people cannot even encourage the government to go on, what is it called, electronic voting? It will reduce a lot of things. But why should we want to continue to embark on all those crude way of doing things? For how long? It doesn't take anything. It is not rocket science. Why is it that the government love, or the so-called leaders love to waste the lives of the people because of their own selfish whatever? If you know that you are popular, let us go into electronic voting so to avoid all of this. Then if you want to face the issue of a fraud or maybe malpractice on what is it called, on internet, then you can go about doing or now to guide that. But just allowing people to just be going, crude way of doing things. We are not even developed to that extent. I think as we are still trying to develop, the best way to vote in this country is to go on electronic voting. For it is those matured country that can go going and just go and queue on the line. But with the way things are going, it is not going to happen. It's not going to stop. Believe you me, no matter what will be preached, nobody is going to listen to anybody. Nobody will listen to anybody. So, like I said, a word is enough for the wise. Those who will listen will listen. Those who will not listen, they will still not listen. So, all of this talk is just normal rhetoric. People have already made up their mind what they want to do. Those who will not go out will not go out. Those who will still go from one word, who want to perpetrate, if they will still do it, the police will still do what they need to do. At the end of the day, nobody will be arrested. We know what happened in Rivers State. Also, ask us whether they have brought justice to those who lost their lives. Up to today, nothing. It has been happening over and over again. So guys, let us hear your opinion. Leave your comments below and let us know what you think.